Hey everybody, welcome to the Tesla Life, episode 54 for May 30th, 2018. My name is Russell Frost. I am your guide on this journey through Tesla, I don't know, through some Tesla space. I know, isn't it funny how I get like 90% of the way there and then I just run out of gas?
He just dropped it.
Like the brain the synapses go, no, screw this. This guy's an idiot. So thankfully for all of you, I have lots of friends here to help me. My wingman on this show, the man who's picking up his Model 3 tomorrow. Mr. Mark Coughlin.
Hello, everybody. And as this show most likely will be titled, "Twas the Night Before Tesla." Yeah. Can hardly wait. Guess what? If that wasn't enough, today... as we're sending out tweets, as you know, you follow us, of course, at the Tesla Life. Who likes one of our tweets, but the original Elon Musk flags us as a like?
Awesome.
And explosion. My phone hasn't stopped vibrating since that point at about 10:30 this morning. So that was great. Great to see. I thought it was some sort of prank, maybe one of those imitation Elon Musks. Mm-hmm. But no, it was the original. So that was kind of cool to happen today.
What did you tweet that got his attention?
I tweeted about the upcoming release of the Model 3 here in Canada. The tweet was, starting today, hundreds of Ontario residents will get their hands on the Tesla Model 3 from the Mass Delivery Center in Toronto. A huge congratulations to all of them for surviving the 26-month process. Also, a big thank you to Elon Musk and Tesla for delivering this spectacular car.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Huge numbers everywhere. People excited about the Model 3 in Canada. And why wouldn't they be?
Absolutely.
See?
And thank you for making the U.S. Tax credit last a little longer.
Just another quarter. Yes.
Thank you.
Right. That at him too. Right.
Thank you for jumping line. Oh, no, wait. That's not fair. That's really, it's totally not. I mean, that's like, yeah, that's not a fair way to describe it because you didn't. Tesla kind of put you there.
That's right.
It makes sense. So, let's see. Next to him is my friend in Chicago, Mr. Tony Schaefer.
Hey guys, no fun Tesla in my this week's future.
Oh.
Sorry. I did get one of my tweets did get liked by someone named Elon Musk. I'm not sure who that is, but yeah.
Let me guess, the avatar is a woman in a bikini with really, really big boobs.
You know, it turns out we have one friend in common. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Well, the gentleman next to him is our man in Portland. He already has a Tesla in his driveway. Mr. Patrick Connor.
Yep, that is how I got here 1 minute before the show started, was zipping home in my Tesla.
Ludicrous mode.
Orange-ish lights that I made it.
Orange-ish.
Drive safely. Buckle up and don't drink and drive. That's drive safely.
Exactly. We never encourage irresponsible driving on the Tesla Life, ever.
No.
No, that would be what drives us.
Trying to get home in time to be here. So just for you guys.
It's always good to have you on the show, Patrick. It's just not the same without you. Well, speaking of picking up new cars tomorrow, it looks like there may be some news about another new Tesla. And for that, we go to Mr. Coughlin.
Yes, Elon, as we know lately, as we reported last week, that there have been, he's been tweeting quite a bit, answering questions here and there as he gets prompted. He seems to have a lot of extra time now to tweet.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like he is on this, basically daily. And
I guess if that's what happens when you don't sleep, you have time to do a lot of extra stuff.
So someone prompted him about the Model Y. Hey, would you happen to have a date as to when the Model Y will be revealed? And Musk replied quite quickly with March 15th of next year. So there was, and then of course the tweets kept coming. Are you serious? I can't tell if you're serious. And just the banter back and forth. And Elon said, you know what? The Ides of March sounds like an excellent date to launch the Model Y. And he said it was going to be in that range somewhere anyways. So it almost sounded like he was picking the date on the fly, which was kind of interesting. But
typical.
Yeah, but typical, exactly.
I was just going to say, I'm sure that's never happened before.
So apparently, some people had said, "Oh, it's a joke. He's not serious." But he did back it up later and say, "Yeah, the 15th of March will be the date." So there you go. So people that thought it may have been this fall, there was certainly some speculation about that, but we stand to be corrected based on what Elon had said just earlier in the week.
Wow. Well, there you go.
So who wants to start the poll on whether or not it'll be May or July or August?
I think the reveals are quite easy because they don't even have to have a completely working car at that point. It's just the reveal. As long as the door is open and nothing falls off on stage, they're good.
Right, just a few prototypes is all they need. So
exactly,
Yeah.
And I got a feeling that at this point, they probably have a few prototypes kicking around somewhere right now.
That's true.
So I think they're just going to refine it.
Clearly nothing that has ever been outside of the secure area out of the Tesla factory. Let's be clear about that. There's so many car spies in orbit around all the Tesla offices and you know what I mean? Like, because who doesn't want to take the credit for that first Model Y picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
they should make a bunch of fake prototypes.
Just roll them out. Yeah.
Something that looks like the Homer Simpson car.
Right.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
It looks like a 48 Ford or something. You know.
One of these might be it.
And just roll them out at weird hours, like 2 a.m. and stuff, and put it in the parking lot, roll it out, then back inside. You
Right.
could just
like
you
you're
drive
trying to
people
hide
insane.
Get like 6 Elon masks and have drivers all exiting the factory at the same time with different cars headed in different directions that all look like Elon.
That's like a heist movie. I've seen that.
Yes. They can troll their stalkers.
Exactly. I love that idea, actually. I don't know why.
All right.
But
So speaking of taking credit, I want to make sure we get credit for the first picture of the Model Y.
First Model Y.
Yes.
I already have a picture of the first person taking reception at the Tesla showroom right there.
Yeah. Chevy's looking very young in that picture.
Yeah. And those headlights just the whole front of that thing may as well be glass.
See, I think Patrick's onto something. They needed to take a Model Y or whatever, take the skateboard, throw that on it, and drive that around
right?
Gigafactory 1.
Oh, I hope it has wood. Yeah,
you need the wood trim. Absolutely.
We need a car with wood paneling again. It's 2018.
Yeah,
it's time.
on the outside. Yes.
On the outside. Yes, sir.
Right.
Well, speaking of once again new things and things coming, Mark has some images.
Yeah, we got a sneak peek of on the West Coast. This suspicious trailer rolling up.
That is very suspicious.
Yeah, in enclosed carriers, nothing can be seen until they start rolling them out. So this is Vancouver, British Columbia, west coast of Canada, and this is the second city to start receiving their allotment of threes. And since this has come up, it's also been noted that Montreal has now received some as well. So we got 3 Canadian cities are starting. Certainly Toronto is in full swing, but the other 2 are starting to receive some allotments now. Not in huge numbers that we've been seeing elsewhere, but maybe just the paparazzi hasn't found the right parking lot yet.
What is that Acura doing in the parking lot? That's what I want to know. Like, who left that thing laying around?
And it's interesting that an enclosed car carrier has to have the white protection on it, but I'm sure it was probably moved from maybe different car carriers.
Yeah, just in case, right?
Yeah.
But
yet you see them driving around, and Patrick, I don't know if you've ever seen a carrier loaded with 3s in your area, but it seems on the West Coast they don't put the protection on the cars on the open car carriers for some reason.
Yeah, I did see a carrier on I-5 when we were driving down to San Diego when we were heading south and they were heading north, and they were not covered. They had that plastic. They had some of that on there, but I mean, it wasn't like you had one that was totally enclosed.
Yeah, and that's what they've been using in Toronto, I guess, for the long haul, are these type of completely enclosed carriers for some reason.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's, given more mileage, I'm guessing, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's more chances of something.
I'm not sure. But, of course, these carriers would carry, I believe, one less car. Because I think with the other ones, you're able to park a car above the roof of the transport tractor itself. Whereas an enclosed carrier, it's just a box. You can't, put one on top of the roof of the semi that's hauling it.
Oh.
But it's interesting. I'm not sure why that is the case, but that is what's going on.
Wow. Well, that's cool. I mean, all over Canada, we're seeing these things deployed. That's a beautiful
thing. Helping out with that number to
keep
push you guys into another quarter.
Thank you,
you'll
Canada.
Get the full tax credit.
Thank you, Canada, for increasing the length of time we can collect a tax credit. No, I'm serious, man. That's cool. I feel bad for people waiting here, but again, do you want that credit or not?
Yeah,
right.
And
they'll be able to make a whole lot more cars in Q4 than they're making this quarter.
And also, if you haven't heard this, that's helping Canada too, because Canadians in Ontario here, we're all facing an election that's coming up on June 7th. And if the government changes hands, our large tax credit for EVs may disappear. So there's a big scramble at not just Tesla, but all EV dealerships. People are snatching up cars while the credit is still widely available.
Wow. That's sad. That would be sad.
Yep.
Yeah, it really would be.
We'll have to see when the people make their vote known.
Well, speaking of, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say, just out of curiosity, I mean, I realize it's a private thing, but have you decided, Mark, which way you're going to vote yet?
I have. Yes.
Just not going to reveal that.
He's a single issue voter. EV tax credit.
I think Mark's showing good judgment here. I'm just going to say
just keeping it to myself. That's
there you go.
Yeah. But I have decided, and I definitely will vote.
Yeah.
Because of course, the saying: if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest benefit of voting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just make sure after you vote and you're walking out, make sure and say, "I got mine. Screw y'all."
Is that? I don't think that's
the way
that
flies
works.
in the States. Is that what people
That's
do?
the States.
Wow,
so.
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't recall seeing that at a Canadian polling station yet.
No. Well, speaking of Model 3 deliveries, Mark has kind of a sad tale.
Friend of the show, Yo-Yo, who had taken his Model 3 across North America, and 400 and some stops across North America, showed thousands of people a Model 3 in real life before they had the chance to see it anywhere else. Took his car to Europe and has been driving in Europe now. 24 countries he has been in already. Unfortunately, it all came to an end recently when he hit the left side of a retaining wall. Not a retaining wall, I guess a highway divider wall.
A divider, yeah.
Yeah,
and
called it a 4 point.
Yeah.
And it was in Greece. And he, as you can see from the photo, he completely destroyed the front end of the car, shattering the front wheel, destroying the back wheel, and a number of things in between both wheels. But what was good to hear was that he was uninjured in the crash.
Yes.
He walked away without any injuries, which was great to hear. He also has unveiled some information about the crash. It turns out he was using autopilot. He was traveling at about 120 kilometers an hour, which would be, somewhere about 75 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, somewhere in that range. And he had one hand on the bottom of the wheel. He had the other hand resting in his lap. And he looked down at his navigation system, which is not the Tesla navigation because it doesn't work in Europe for the 3. He was using his phone. So he looked at his phone, which was down and to the right. And at that moment, he indicated that the car veered to the right-hand side quickly. And when he went to grab with the hand that was on the wheel to kind of counter steer the motion moving to the right, he pulled the car slightly to the left. And when he was looking forward, the car had already engaged the wall. So he swerved across a lane of traffic, missed the separator in the middle of the road of the exit. And when he grabbed the wheel and pulled, it pulled him back into that same separator. And
allegedly.
Well, this is all as
Right.
he has published. Yes, this is all as he has published.
I would actually like to see him with a map and draw how it. I still am having a hard time understanding the whole thing.
The car pulled to the right, but yet the impact was on the left, the way that he pulled it back. Anyway, the community has been on both sides of this issue because he came out and blamed autopilot right away. They were attacking him for that, and he's admitted that he was looking at his phone when it happened, and instead of looking at the road. So
and he had one hand on the wheel, as he admits.
Right. So we've talked about this on the show before. There's a bright line between who's in charge, and today with the systems that we have, it's the driver. This is a driver assist. It's not a fully autonomous system. It's up to you. So he can say, oh, autopilot did something it shouldn't, but that's the system that we have. And it occasionally does things that it shouldn't, especially at exits. So you have to be paying attention. And the fact that he's the one that pulled it to the left and hit the divider, I think is all clearly he's the one that's at fault here. But then again, I'm the Tesla defender on the show. But I'm not going to yell at him. I'm not a Musk bro. That's just uncool.
I'm not a Musk bro. Sure. This is not where I jump in and say you're wrong, Patrick.
Oh, wow. But we argue all the time.
Are you unsure about this a little bit, Patrick? Or are you pretty, I guess, you're set in what you would believe happened here?
Well, no, I don't have any more data than what he said happened, but based on what I know, and based on what I know of the system, the driver is the one who's responsible. And so the fact that he's got lots and lots of miles on this, probably more than anybody else in a Model 3 at this point in time, and he got too comfortable there, took it for granted, and this is what happened.
Now you've noticed in your car, Patrick, that it does have quirks.
Oh, yeah.
It may do things here and there, such as try to steer in an area where it shouldn't be steering, or something along that line. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. It's far from a perfect system. You have to pay attention. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I think far from a perfect system is probably even an understatement. I mean, it's by design, it's not autonomous.
Right. It's not at all.
And the problem is, no, I'm not going down that hill. I don't care.
I'll go down that hole. The problem is that many people, even though it's written up as it's not autonomous, they act like it is. And the problem is that people get real comfortable with it way too early. and just let the car do the driving for them in a number of instances when they should be paying much more attention to what's going on.
You're going to provoke me here, is all I'm going to say. You're going to provoke me here.
That's the plan.
And I'm going to, no, I don't know the details of the accident. I don't, other than what Yo-Yo has posted and what Tesla has posted in response. So exactly what happened and whose fault it is isn't clear by any stretch of the imagination. What is clear, what's really, really clear, is how Tesla has sold this system. And there's no denying that this is the way Tesla has presented its product over and over and over again from the one person who represents them more than anyone else, who everyone listens to. We've heard this about this aspect of that product. We've heard that that all the hardware you need is in there. Now, I appreciate the caveats, but we can, and I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about, the EULA argument, right? Does everybody here know what the EULA argument is? Yep. Everybody agrees to the 45-page EULA. Nobody reads a damn thing, right?
Yep. Oh, I thought EULA stood for...
Patrick just clicked off. He's like, the hell with this. I don't care anymore. No, but I mean, and that's the thing. You don't know, what did you just agree to? And my point with bringing that up is that, yes, Tesla has disclaimers, and Tesla has at times said, drivers in control, hands on the wheel, blah, blah, blah. But just as many times as they've said that, they've also said, press a button and this car will drive itself from New York to San Francisco.
And summons mode, right?
Which
all those other things.
In my opinion, is irresponsible. I'm not saying Tesla's responsible for this accident. I'm saying they've sold a product very irresponsibly. They're not at fault for Yo-Yo's accident. But that's that's all I got.
Yeah, you're bringing up another issue of what they. He was well aware of his capabilities, and that's not
no doubt about it. No, there's no like
you move the goalpost.
I guess. I mean, who's moving the goalpost?
I mean, the story of Yo-Yo's event and the issue that you're bringing up are related but separate.
How so?
You're talking about people who are confused about his capabilities and how Tesla sold it, and he was. He's not one of those. He knew exactly what it was capable of and what it wasn't. He had a lot of experience.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the actual thing here. But one of the things that really sort of set me off initially.
Tony's angry. Look out. No. The fur's going to fly.
No, it's not even that. Not like, I'm angry or
oh, damn it.
I'm pissed off or whatever. But the one thing that really bothered me the most, and I get it where he might have been headwise and whatever, but the tweet that he sent at Elon.
Yeah, there's
where he has an accident, his car crashes. And he tweets at Elon, and again, I wish I could find it right now, but he basically tweets, my Model 3 was on autopilot and crashed. No, he started with, hey, at Elon Musk. My Model 3 on autopilot crashed. I'm glad I'm not dead. Please investigate this.
Glad I'm not dead, he said.
And I'm thinking that is not how you reach out to someone. But like I said, at the same time, I can't find it. Sorry. At the same time, I kind of get where his head is, because he just
avoided dying.
I'm sorry, Mark. What?
He just avoided dying.
Well, yeah.
if he had hit that embutment head on, it's a different story as far as possible injury.
It would have been the Model X,
Right.
possibly all over it.
Possibly.
Possibly.
We don't know. We don't know what the embutment was at that spot. If it was whatever, but certainly it's a more severe accident as opposed to rubbing up to a wall than hitting it at the point.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But like I said, that was just the one thing right off the bat when he tweets at Elon, and it was like, "Glad I'm not dead."
And we have mentioned this about Yo-Yo before, that he speaks in a different way than normal. He
pushes the boundaries.
Yes, all the time. So I'm not surprised with that tweet from him for the fact that seems to be how he operates.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's back in San Francisco now.
Did he bring the car back, or is he bringing it back?
I believe he is bringing the car back. I think last I heard, that was his plan. It doesn't say in his most recent post that the car is with him right now, but I think he's.
Well, that was the issue, as I understood it, was that if he brought it back, then there was a chance that we'd read the data recorders and we would have some objective information about the accident.
I thought Tesla was going to have it towed from Greece to Germany or something like that so they could get the logs without bringing it back to the U.S. At first they said no, and later they said that they would because they wanted to know what happened.
Yeah, I heard that as well, Patrick. I don't know what happened with that.
So we're just kind of waiting to hear where it's at. But
okay, Derek in the chat room says he hasn't decided yet.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything else about Yo-Yo. I mean, obviously, we're glad he's not hurt.
Right.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. And it's a bummer that his trip is over. It's a bummer that he's destroyed a Model 3 that wasn't insured for that type of wreck. All of that.
Wasn't insured for any of it. Like, he's out of pocket for it. Like, that's it.
Yeah, he had liability, and but this wasn't. Yeah, in this kind of accident, he's not going to get any insurance.
Luckily,
payment.
he didn't mess up anything else too bad.
Yeah.
So I guess from a show perspective, it's just good that he's whole.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll see what he does.
We'll see what happens in the future and report on it when we hear.
Yep. Cars can be replaced.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Even if he'll have to wait another 2 years to get a replacement.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You can go to Canada. Here, they're getting some.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of getting some. Oh, I'm sorry. Mark has a story about supercharger plans, and I clicked on the link, and it's like crazy, but it's everything. But Mark's story is a little more focused.
A little more focused on Newfoundland, Canada again.
Where is that?
It's the Canada show. It's on the east coast of Canada. It's hugging up to the Atlantic Ocean.
Let's show our viewers.
It turns out that a couple of interns that work for Tesla, actually in a story previously, had impressed Elon Musk with some problem solving that they were able to do, and were offered full-time jobs at the factory, which they accepted. And when Elon posted the new supercharger map, the updated one, you can see that across Canada at the lower side, there's a bunch of dots that are crossing the country. That's called the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yes.
And you'll notice that they kind of stop in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. That's it. And then across the water there, a big island sitting out there is Newfoundland, and it's got no dots on it at all. So these two interns, being from Newfoundland, quickly tweeted to Elon that, hey, you still can't drive coast to coast in Canada with even the new update. And what's Elon do but reply back, we will add it to our construction plans. So just out of a tweet, they've modified the construction plans to get some chargers posted in Newfoundland and Labrador. So great great to be connected to somebody that can get things done quickly.
Right.
Wow. Does anybody know how many Teslas are actually in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Does it really matter?
I mean,
If the superchargers outnumber the cars.
I mean, in one sense,
If
Mark,
a tree falls in the forest.
in one sense, you're absolutely right, though. In a sense, it doesn't matter. And in another sense, it does, right?
It doesn't matter in the sense that people that are traveling and visiting and going on vacation certainly would like to have a supercharger where they're going.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And
don't
Newfoundland is certainly a large tourist attraction as it relates to Canada.
Lots of
and
people
if you look at some of the other charging stations networks like CCS, they're East Coast and West Coast. And why? Because that's where the cars are. But that doesn't mean that's the only place those people want to drive that live there with those cars. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter how many cars are there.
Right.
We just gotta cover some more routes and continue to do so, and allow people to travel more freely to the destinations they wish to go to.
I really want to drive that Trans-Canada Highway. I'm serious. I've always wanted to do that.
It is. I was on a recent part of it around Lake Superior about 2.5 years ago, and it was spectacular.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The scenery was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like going through the plains, it probably gets a little sleepy.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. You know, Alberta, Saskatchewan, maybe not even Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. It's like, but whatever. It's still beautiful. You know, and
then you hit Calgary, and boom, at the foothill of the mountains,
right?
And then it's spectacular
amazing again.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is when I did my round country trip, you know, they talk about flyover country, and I was driving through Minnesota and South Dakota. It's gorgeous. I mean, just amazing. The grasslands, the rolling hills, and the Badlands in South Dakota. It's a beautiful state. Now, that doesn't mean I want to live there, but it's an amazing thing to drive through. When you actually take the time to visit, you see these things. When you're flying over it, it just looks like stuff. Anyway.
So what I want to know, what I really want to know here is who carved Maine out of this when they were setting out the maps. I mean, you look at the state of Maine and, you know, in Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York. If they would have just followed the St. Lawrence Seaway right there, it's like a natural barrier. But you know, where New Brunswick and Quebec City is. Who looked at this and said, well, there's a river going right here. Why don't we just carve that up and divide it between the countries? That's like the stupidest thing ever. I just wanted to get that out there. It's been bugging me since the early 1700s, and I just don't understand it.
You've been nursing that grudge for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You can blame the British. They're the ones that helped divide up the map.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that Canada got the best part of that deal.
Yeah,
you know,
probably.
They wanted both.
Well, have you seen the crazy thing that Alaska does? Alaska goes down the coast of British Columbia and takes off all the shoreline. It's like, who did that?
The inside passage. Yes.
There's actually a little spit of land off of Vancouver area that the tip of the peninsula is American.
Right.
And the only way you can get to it is either by boat or drive through Canada to get to that outcropping of land. It's crazy. It's just a little spit of land that peninsula is U.S. and the rest of it all around it is Canadian. And it's kind of funny to see that on the map.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I will throw up a link after it. It's and then if you use Google Maps and kind of go to the street view, you can see what the border is. The border is a ditch. That's it. It's an indenting in the grass. That's all that's there.
It's that way in, what am I saying, Vermont maybe? Or
there's with Quebec. Yep.
Yeah, there's some like little villages that are like, oh, now you're in Canada. Oh, now you're in the U.S. Oh, now you're back in Canada. Go around the block. You've changed countries twice.
Man, we got to be friendly countries to have borders like. There it is. Who's got that up?
Oh, I had that up. Yeah.
Yeah, this little spit of land that is just sticking out into the water, and there the border runs through the part of it.
Point Roberts. Yeah.
Nice.
How would you like to live in Port Roberts that you have to go through?
I wonder if that's so boats can dock there.
Two inspection stations to get to it by car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to go through the southern there by Blaine, get through that one, drive through Canada, and then go through another inspection station to get into Point Roberts.
But you could legally take a boat from the U.S. to the U.S.
Yes,
no problem, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Not that you probably want to. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Kind of weird.
There we go.
Yeah.
But we certainly digress. We're way off topic.
We're way off topic. Yeah. What's this show about again? Political boundaries?
I forgot.
Our next story, just to push along, is Tesla started to roll out the brake fix that Consumer Reports reported on just recently with an over-the-air update. So this brake fix has been rolling out as Elon said it would, and now the Model 3s are getting a reduction of about 20 feet or a little bit more with the braking update that they're pushing to the cars. So again, over-the-air update strikes again. Fabulous system, being able to update the car, fix a possible error or overlook, and place something into the car to help out the current drivers.
Yeah, it's funny because I've heard several people say, how can they do that with the software update? To which my only response is, you have no idea how modern cars work. They're all software controlled. I think that
Have you guys
thing on actually connects to some kind of brake? No, it's an input device only.
So kind of like the other cars with a fly-by-wire type thing. The brake is the same way. You're just pushing on some sort of a servo and a spring, and it knows how to apply the brake based on that pressure.
And even in this case, it was they said it was the analog braking algorithm. So so it's not only just applying the brakes, but it's cycling how the different tires brake and share the load intermittently. And I guess.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
Hockey Day in the chat has pointed out that Consumer Reports now recommends the Model 3 because the update came out.
Changed immediately.
Yes, that's awesome.
Oh, Russell.
How could you not like this, Russell?
Did you hit your head, Russell? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I look, I get the whole, I'm not it's all baling wire and mechanical linkages. I get that. Believe me. And the nature of ABS allows things like this to happen. Well, I guess what I want to know is if that has compromised the safety of the ABS system at all. You know what I mean? It's
by making it stop shorter? No. They've improved ABS. They haven't made it less safe by any means.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, another podcast that I was watching, they went out and tested it with theirs, and they found that it was locking up too much, and so it was skidding more, and so now you have more control. It doesn't lock up as much as it was before, so you lose less rubber and you stop faster. It's all good.
Okay. I assumed that Tesla's fix was now all four tires just come to a complete stop. Then hit the brakes.
Locks up and the car just skids for 90 feet.
And you press the button for a counterclockwise or clockwise spin.
It depends on whether you're north or south of the equator.
Yeah, which hemisphere are you in? I think that's the way that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in another hot story,
look at that.
Our favorite tunneling company has indicated that they will be throwing a flame-throwing party, coming up on June the 9th. So I can just imagine, 1,000 people with live flamethrowers at a party
possibly go
in
wrong?
Los Angeles? Yeah. This has the makings of the 6 o'clock news easily. Yeah,
because there's no such thing in California as fire season.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
But of
everyone's
course,
the
it will
office.
be in LA, the concrete jungle. Like, what's really to burn there, anyways, right?
I heard of Malibu. Quite a bit, actually. But yeah, of course, it's not like. Hopefully, this isn't going to be held in the Cleveland National Forest. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a free fire extinguisher that comes with every flamethrower. So that is not a joke. That is actually part of what they're getting with their
But
package.
can you imagine bringing a bunch of inexperienced people together to liquor them up and then give them their new flamethrowers at a party? I could just see, the hospital 5 alarms happening as people.
Yeah, there
People
should
are
be no
trying to.
alcohol served at this party.
Yeah.
But I do have to specify that in the Boring Company's release to the reservation holders, it does say only eligible customers who have signed the terms and conditions. So there's your disclaimer right there.
Well, they're covering their ass right there.
Right.
That's what they're doing here. Sign away that we are not responsible for any burnings or flamethrower antics that happened during the party.
Yeah.
I did like the little rhyme they had. Did you guys hear that? I
No.
don't have it in front of me. I will not use this in the house. I will not point this at my spouse.
Nice.
I don't remember the rest of it. And there was something that ends with the only good uses for creme brulee. I wish I remembered the. You guys can look. It was pretty funny.
That is awesome.
That is
awesome.
one EULA that people will actually read.
Oh my gosh.
I like how once again we have sort of a. Okay, wait. I have to put this picture back up because clearly, because the Boring Company is calling this not a flamethrower, it is not a flamethrower, right? This is not a flamethrower.
No, basically it's a weed killer is what it is.
It's a weed
There are
killer.
legal definitions for a flamethrower, and this does not meet them.
Right.
Yes,
and of course, they had
yes.
to put not a flamethrower on it so they could ship it. There were
Right.
some shipping companies that said we are not shipping a flamethrower. It's in our rights not to do so. So
Right.
they changed the name.
Well, there you go.
And
Next up-
in more Elon tweets through the week. Someone prompted him about all-wheel drive for the Model 3 for the performance model versus the all-wheel drive regular Model 3. And they were asking about timelines and what was going to be made first. And of course, as everyone can guess here on this panel, I'm sure, Elon indicated that the all-wheel drive performance model would be the first to market. Now, why would that be? Why would they be pushing out the performance model over the regular model? Could it be cost?
Money.
Yes, exactly. Could it be cost? Could it be profit? Bingo. That's exactly what it is. So again, as they pushed out the first Model 3 here to everyone, it was the performance version with it was the large battery version with the premium package. The same holds true for the dual motor cars. They're going to be the more expensive ones going out first because they make more profit. It makes complete sense. I don't know why anyone would be surprised. Although the Twitterverse, that there were many people that were shocked with why are you putting out a more expensive car first? So just to roll that over with the people here on our show, it just makes complete sense.
As a Tesla shareholder, that's great. As someone waiting for the non-performance all-wheel drive, oh man!
I'm very glad to see that duality, Patrick. I don't want you to take it too calmly,
And again, on the Model 3, it's the Model 3 show today.
It is.
It's got a lot of stories. One of the Model 3's safety was put into a test recently in Seattle on a highway. And as you can see from the photo, this car was rear-ended and then bounced off the median. All the airbags went off. There were 2 adults in the front, 2 kids in the back, and happily to report that nobody was injured seriously at all, and everyone was able to walk away from this. So that you can see the crumple zones certainly were used on both ends of the car.
Yeah.
Looks like all the airbags were deployed. And it's great to hear that people walked away from this. So although nobody wants to be involved in something like this, it's somewhat reassuring to see the car seems to be performing in a safety measure as it should.
Right. No, that's awesome. I mean, that is totally awesome. Because look at that. And apparently they were doing 65 and somebody hit them from the rear going significantly faster. And then they hit the divider. And, you know, as you can imagine how horrific that accident would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. How fast did that car have to be going? This guy's doing 65. He gets rear-ended hard enough that it spins the car around 3 times, according to one witness.
Yeah.
I think it was a Camaro that hit him that was racing some other car. That's just stupid.
Crazy. It's insane. Yeah. Look at the damage to the rear end. I mean, you know, that's not a fender bender. Somebody slammed into them hard. Thank God the car is that safe. You know,
or thank the engineers that made it that safe.
Thank you. Fair enough.
Yes,
absolutely.
And on to our next story, Russell. I'm going to ask you if you could to roll the video.
Absolutely. Let's put this in here. So you want me just to start that?
Just fire it off.
Oh, you can hear it. What does that sound like? Well, it sounds like us. Oh my God, it's crazy.
So it's Mark here from the Tesla Life. Just wandering around in a parking lot out here in Toronto.
Rocking the cool shades.
And you know what coming across out here. It is a massive amount of Model 3s that are being unloaded here. Because, of course, in a few days, Wednesday, they're going to start to unload these cars to clients, customers. And they're stockpiling them out here right now. Here we go.
Look at that.
So there they are.
Red, white, and blue. It looks like a U.S. invasion.
Yeah, and what was really interesting was nothing but arrow wheels at that point.
Yeah, I turned down your volume here, so we can talk over the video, I guess.
Yeah, it was interesting that they, at this point, there were hundreds of these cars in a couple of lots, as we'll see as the video goes along. Yeah. But we did receive some comments on our Facebook and our Twitter pages. Hey, did Canadians even have the option of ordering anything but arrow wheels? Because there were nothing but arrow wheels here at the International Center for some reason. Now, that may have changed. This was last Saturday, but it may have changed to the point where they were just coming off the trains or the trucks at a later time. But I am going out tomorrow to pick mine up, and I will certainly do another look around and see what I find. But in the delivery videos that are happening in Toronto today, certainly 19-inch sport wheels have been seen on cars. So it probably was that this past Saturday, there just wasn't, the shipment had not arrived of the sport wheels, and it was just arrows at that particular time.
Yeah.
I saw a Model 3 on the road the other day, and when it's driving, those arrow wheels look really cool. In motion, they kind of have a neat effect.
Okay. Yep. And I don't know if you haven't seen the arrow wheels up close. It is a combination of black and gray on them. They're not just all solid black. It's a dark gray with a black mixed in. So there is a bit of a pattern to them. I don't know, Patrick, if that played out when you saw them. Could you see both colors, or really?
Right. Yeah. So they weren't going that fast. So it was kind of blending in, and plus the shape, the way it smooths out and looks, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep your covers on, or are you gonna buy the lug nut caps that?
I've already bought the lug nut caps, but they were on back order, so I'm waiting for them to arrive. But certainly, I'm gonna try both and see what I like. on a long trip, as they mentioned, the aero caps are supposed to give you a boost in range. That'll be interesting to see if that is noticeable. But I'm certainly, I don't mind using either or. Maybe around town, I'll pop them off because obviously there's no real efficiency gain from around town. But I'm going to try both out.
Cool.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing that was kind of interesting at the International Center here is we came across some portable superchargers that are coming up next year.
Look at that.
And these were on pallets, dropped off, and then external wiring running into the building. And then each supercharger cabinet had 2 plugs, as a regular supercharger does. And they had a number of them that are ready to start, I guess, topping up cars before sale or after sale. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have more to report on that tomorrow.
Now, were these just like plugged into a wall outlet and then?
Yeah, just a regular 110, I believe. Yeah.
And the power strips were just like daisy chained one off the other.
Okay. All right. It was a series of 6-foot power strips plugged into each other.
Yeah, awesome.
That gives you extra protection.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
There were some Christmas lights involved somehow.
Just so nobody tripped over them.
Yeah, once they were able to change those Christmas lights to LED, they added another supercharger. So that was
right.
Good. Yeah.
Good. It's like a win-win.
Exactly.
So I know how fastidious you are. How many total cars did you count? I'm assuming you counted each and every one.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Well, I didn't get any shots of the security chasing me away. So it was, I didn't get a number, Tony. My best guesstimate was somewhere in the area of 300 to 400 cars.
Wow.
Across 2 lots. But tomorrow I'm going to see if the lots have increased. I've heard through the internet that, and some of our listeners and followers, that the number has increased. Some have reported that the center is actually delivering 8 cars every 15 minutes. So that's over 200 cars a day. And they have the center rented out for a month. They believe that by the middle of June, they would have delivered in the area of over 2,000 cars. Wow. So it's quite a feat undergoing. Obviously, the GTA is the Greater Toronto Area is a huge market for Tesla.
In fact, Grand Theft Auto.
You know what? I was just thinking that you probably shouldn't do GTA when you're talking about Teslas.
I did indicate what GTA was, but the area is apparently second only to Los Angeles in market. So there's a ton of Canadians waiting to get their hands on this car, and over the next few weeks, a whole bunch of them, including me, will have that chance.
And let's face it, you are a large percentage of that metric ton.
Well, thank you, Tony. Yes. Russell, you still have the ability to mute Tony, right?
Well, he cycled my house power. He blinked out the power and made me kick off.
Made you disappear for 30 seconds or so.
Oh, Chicago's getting pounded by some pretty hard storms right now, and my power was, I don't know if that even showed up, but it would dim. And then finally it dimmed and boom, I went down. So
off it went. It went.
Wow.
So Mark, which do you think will be more popular in Canada, the rear wheel or all-wheel drive?
I know that the all-wheel drive will be more popular. But I was lucky enough to be able to drive with Yo-Yo when he was driving through Canada. He had a good set of snow tires on his car. And when we were driving around in January in the snow and the ice in Woodstock, Ontario, I knew for a fact I didn't need all-wheel drive after going through that test drive with him. Like it was just painfully obvious that the car sticks to the road really well with a good set of snows on it. And for the extra cost rolled into that, I felt I really didn't need it. And of course, I'd be able to get my hands on it earlier. So I was all for the plan.
Right. Whereas most people just think 4 wheels good, 2 wheels bad, and they don't know about the traction control system that Tesla has.
Exactly. Most people that have an all-wheel drive car they'd be hard pressed to move out of one because they believe that that's what's holding them to the road, when really it's not. It's the snow tires that are keeping them there.
Yep.
Friction. It's all about friction.
And mu forces.
Yeah. Well, Mark?
One more thing. I think I've said enough one more things tonight. There's been a ton of stuff that...
I got to tell you, I cannot wait to see your video.
Yeah.
For tomorrow. I cannot wait to see it. Do check back with us. We will be posting it as soon as we can tomorrow. You can see Mark at the delivery center. I'm sorry, did you call it the Mass Delivery Center?
Well, I'm just making that up.
I didn't.
I was just adding verbs to it just to push it forward. Yeah.
I can't wait to see just how sleep deprived you are tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll maybe even get some driving video for Mark. You never know.
Oh man, who knows what's going to happen?
I'm going to
have a great time. That's something I wanted to ask Patrick. I hear that some Model 3 owners get the referral number immediately. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what happens with that.
I'm sorry.
I was wondering if Mark's going to get a referral code that he could give out on the show once he becomes a Tesla owner.
Oh,
I would hope so. I would hope that there's no difference between a Model 3 owner and a Model S owner when it comes to getting a referral code. I wouldn't see why there would be, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are lower class. Let's be realistic.
Thank you. Yes.
You are a second-class citizen in this ecosystem. But nonetheless, you are a citizen of that, a member of that ecosystem. Whether you're predator or prey, we'll argue that on another show.
We'll find out next week if you have it.
Exactly.
Next week to find out if Mark survives.
All right, so Mark, we got some questions in the chat here.
Nice hat. Oh my God.
Do you have a time? Do you have a scheduled time?
I have a scheduled time. It's first thing in the morning, about 10:15.
That is if first thing in the morning is 10:15. I
think for Tesla, I think they start doing it at 10.
Okay. And are you planning on doing any live video?
I plan on recording some live video. I certainly would like to get some of the experience that I see. I would certainly like to get some shots of the party-like atmosphere with hundreds of people waiting in the waiting room to go in. And of course, the line of 16 or more cars that are lined up with happy clients in front of them. But I don't know if there's going to be issues with filming. I don't know if they'll let you do some of this. So I'm certainly going to try my best. And whatever I can record, we'll post it together as soon as we can.
But personally, I will say, friend to friend, don't let, for me anyway, don't let the camera get in the way of you having just one hell of a good time.
Yeah, I certainly want to experience it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's this replacing in your garage?
It is replacing a 2013 Dodge Avenger.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, did you lose a bet?
I have to say that the Avenger looks pretty cool. It's all black. It's got blacked out windows. It's a nice looking car, but it doesn't compare to the Tesla Model 3.
No, definitely not. I drove one of those, I think, in 2012, and the review is very, very short. Very, very short. Wow. Well, dude, of course, congratulations. And like I said, all of us, there's lots of us that are like, okay, we want to see. I don't know that they're going to let you film in the distribution center. They may not, but you never know. Right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Some people that we've received notes from on Twitter have sent us some pictures.
Video. It's
some
always
pictures, no video, just pictures. But we've been reposting that through the afternoon. So again, if you're interested, follow us on Twitter at The Tesla Life. Follow us on Facebook, The Tesla Life #1. And most importantly, please, if you're watching this broadcast for the first time, click the subscribe button so that we get another subscriber and our numbers go up. It really helps us out, and we would greatly appreciate your assistance in that.
Hugely important. So,
Yep.
and if you're just watching this on some other third-party site, search the Tesla Life Show, look for our fun red logo, and click subscribe, and that way you'll be notified whenever we post new content. And we do. Let's do some shout-outs and go home. I'm going to start in reverse order from introductions and start with Mr. Connor.
Okay. If you're buying a new Tesla Model S or Model X, my referral code will get you free supercharging for life. It's Patrick7819. That's ts.la/Patrick7819.
Ooh.
Patrick, always nice to get a bonus of free supercharging for life.
Yeah. Yep. How can you not love that? Now, that only applies to S and X purchases.
S and X, correct.
You did say that. Just wanted to be sure.
Yep.
Second-class citizens. I know.
Yeah.
What is it like? But it's a 3, right? So is that like a 3rd? Is it like 3rd?
Is that a licensed hat, by the way?
Let's not go there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Just saying. I'm like, I don't remember seeing that in the store.
So like, if you wear that tomorrow, are they going to take it off your head?
Yeah, they won't take it off your head. No. Just
no car for you.
Yeah, that's it. This is you know, Cartier has this thing. If you accidentally, like if you get a counterfeit Cartier and you're not aware of it, which many people are, and you take it to a Cartier boutique for service, they have this lovely tradition where they smash it with a hammer right in front of you.
Whoa. That is a lovely tradition.
It is so wonderfully arrogant. I just love it.
I don't think that qualifies as due process to take your property.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
I think that actually does line up with U.S. law, though, strangely enough. Believe it or not, on counterfeit products. Yeah. Tony.
As always, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. You know who you are. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. You know, I'm sitting here monitoring the chat room, and I love just talking with everyone live. Thanks for taking an hour out of your evening and spending some time with us. And like Mark said, if you are not in the chat room and you wish you were, make sure go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified when the chat room is open again.
Yay!
Chat room was a lot of fun.
Mark?
Thanks everyone for the chat room, certainly for the well wishes, and yes, I will have fun tomorrow, and I can hardly wait. So very excited. Can't wait to get my hands on the car, go for a spin. Going to enjoy it immensely. So
one of the first things you should do is give it the Gore Point test.
The what?
No, that is such a bad idea.
What?
The Gore Point, where the X and Yo-Yo crashed.
No.
Oh yeah. I am not going to be doing anything insane with the car to start with. No, none of that.
You have to drive 50 or so miles before autopilot's even trained, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. Just
all right.
Go have fun. You and Mrs. Tesla Life. Have a nice day in your new car.
We will.
And I expect a picture of your Tesla at the drive-thru at the nearest Tim Hortons.
You know what? I have a little inside knowledge here, and that his photo may be even better than that. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
It may be even better than that. We'll see. I don't know if Mark's gonna video all of his first day. Maybe not, but
snippets here and there.
Are you going to get it ceramic coated and wrapped? Wrapped?
Actually, I am going to get it partially wrapped. Certainly the front end, and there'll probably be a video about that as well. We're going to be getting the front and the hood and the sides wrapped to protect it from freeway driving.
Cool.
So, like with clear wrap, you're not gonna do it in pink or something. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, pink. Let's go.
Pink. I don't know, like something awesome, like flames. They're like big mouth with sharp teeth or something. No,
I'll let you do that to your car.
Patrick's like, shut up, just shut up. I'm allowed to express myself a little bit.
You could do that on your Tesla when you get one. Telling Mark what he should do on his. You're over the line, buddy.
I think I'll stick with clear. Thanks very much for the suggestion, though, Russell. Flames are an excellent second choice.
I like the flame idea a lot, or the big teeth, like a World War II fighter. Like
that's right.
Because that front end's got a really good place for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's all I got this week. Thanks to everybody who watched. Tune in tomorrow to watch some video from Mark, but mostly next week where we'll recap Mark's delivery and all the news that happened so you can find out what's going on in the Tesla life.